How about now? There we go. I think that should do it. Well, sorry, guys. That was stupid. Here. That's smelling so good. Oh, wait. I've got you guys pointed at the ceiling. Professional streamer, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Started an ad! Must be live. Ha ha. Alright, so we're back in business. I am so sorry about that, guys. Hi. Ladies and gentlemen, we return you now to the professional, high-quality stream that you require from Hula Cow Studios. God. Alright, so our stew is sitting here bubbling, and we're going to season it up really good. Oh my, that's really, really good. So, first things first, let's add a little garlic to it. Because it needs it. There we are. Now, where's my thyme? Add a little thyme. Yeah, isn't it cute? Little thyme bulb. There we are. And interestingly enough, in addition to parsley, I'm also going to add a little chervil, which is also a French herb, and it tastes very much like parsley, except different. You know how you get your hamster those little alfalfa bags, and they smell so good, and you think, gee, you know, I can see why they like to nibble on those. Well, this tastes about like that smells, and it's wonderful. So into the stew it goes. Now you can eat this over mashed potatoes, you can eat this over rice. Hang on. Oh, it's a client. We are not open on Saturdays. Let's stir this up real good. Look at that, y'all. Now this does have to simmer for a little while. And I do need to add a little water to it. But it's tasting wonderful. It needs a little more beef broth. Or, excuse me, a little more beef bouillon. And I'm going to add a little water so that it simmers a little bit better. Because it's going to simmer for a while. And then we're going to have a nice beef Burgundy. But we've got to leave it in long enough not only for the beef to be cooked all the way through, but we need to leave it in long enough for the beef to get really tender, like fall apart tender. And that'll be nice. So, a little more beef bouillon, just for fun. Yeah, about like that. And I am almost tempted to go off script. In beef dishes, let me show you guys something, and I'm going to do this. In beef dishes, what I will do is I will take like a little bit of Marmite. Not a lot, just a little tiny bit. It's a brewer's yeast paste, and it's very, very slurmy and sticky. Just about that much. You don't need a whole lot, but if you stir it in, it will richen up the flavor of things like beef and mushrooms and things like that. It kind of gives it a beefier, a meatiness to it. And it's really, really good. And it has a nice smell. And a lot of people just eat this on toast. And I do too. But for most Americans, that's a bit much. Yummy. That's what I wanted. But in stews and things like that, it's really great. So, whoopee! Hey, how's it going? Welcome to my kitchen. I'm making beef Burgundy. Well, I've made beef Burgundy. I just kind of need to wait for it to simmer and get tender, which could take a little while, and for the beef to finish cooking. So, how are you doing today, and what have you been up to? Anything good? Anything fun? And are you, yummy. Are you streaming? Have you been streaming? Do you plan on streaming? And sorry to pepper you with 1,000 different questions. I'll be cleaning up while we chit-chat. Because I got a bunch to do today. And since that's kind of on a back burner, I will chat and clean and we'll watch the stew bubble. Alrighty. In fact, you know what let's do? Let's get a lid on this and make it a clear one so you guys can kind of see what's going on as soon as the fog clears. And I hope you guys don't mind that since I don't have anything else to cook or prep right now, that while we wait for that, I'm going to put my dishes away. Real great design for short people. I love my pot rack, though. I'm actually the one that installed it. There we go. There we are. That one kind of has some residue on it. What's new? Not much, man. I've been running around this week trying to get things done between tax time and some clients and some voiceovers that I've had to do this week and just kind of getting stuff done around here. It's been a little bit insane lately, which, you know, is all right for a little while. But sometimes it's the wrong kind of busy, you know? If it's the kind of busy where people are calling you and paying you money to do things, that's wonderful. But if it's the kind of busy where people are calling you and keeping your attention occupied and not really getting you any billable hours, that's another story entirely. And to be honest, this week has been somewhere in between the two. How about you? You up to anything fun or interesting? Any new games you've been playing? And if so, what kind, and are you enjoying them? I have been playing some Super Mario World hacks, both troll levels and some Kaizos. I've been helping a gentleman test his new ROM hack, and it's going to be really good. It's a little bit beyond my ability to play straight through. I'm having to cheat a little bit and use save states, but I have had a blast testing it. I am not going to PAX. And Kimmy, what was your question? Because remember, I had to reload my browser. There we go. Play like Super Mario. I never played Super Mario RPG. I've been noticing that Aaron and Jess have been playing it though, and I've been having fun watching it as I've had time to catch the stream. My favorite knife? Well, they're both my favorite knife. Coffee cups, the source of life. Haha. Yes, you can make this in a crock pot. You can make it stovetop. You can make it crock pot. You can make it in the oven. You can do all three of those things. If you are going to make this in a crock pot, I would still suggest sauteing the onions before they go in and searing the beef a little bit. But you can let this sit in a crock pot. I mean, you could do it the other way. I like the caramelization that, you know, searing them real quick. But, I mean, you just get a sear on them, throw them in the crock pot, you're done. You don't even really have to do that if you're planning on leaving it all day, but absolutely, you can do this in a crock pot, you can do this in a Dutch oven in the oven, you can do it on stovetop, you can do this any way you want. It's a real easy recipe to make, and it's not difficult, and it comes out well most every time. It's hard to screw it up, so yeah, you absolutely can. Yeah, I've heard there's a random. There's also a Crystallis randomizer for the old Nintendo SNK game, which has always been one of my favorite NES games. I did a playthrough of it a while back, but I love Crystallis, and they've made a randomizer for it, which should be interesting. And I have been curious about it, though apparently not curious enough to get off my tail and go and play it. But of course, there's been so much going on lately. Like, I need to get my roof, well, not my roof, my chimney fixed, but the brick in my chimney's old and it's absorbing the rain and then spitting it out underneath the roof line into my attic, so it dribbles in. And I'm not happy about that, so I've got to pay $200 to get it sprayed and sealed. That said, it's also tax time, and they're not great for people in service jobs this year. Yes, Tomo, you told me about the randomizer, and thank you, because I am really looking forward to that. That said, this big-ass pan doesn't like to go into my dishwasher. Let's see. Yeah, that's right. You know there is. But now everyone else in chat knows there is. Let's... Woo! Yummy. Let's stir this real good. And then we'll turn that down just a little bit to simmer. Oh, man, y'all. That's good. That is real good. We're going to load up this dishwasher while we chat. Spits it out. Who spits what out now? Whoopi, I know this answer is going to be incredibly unhelpful to you because most people find it so, but you cook it till it's done. In that, you know, you check on it and the beef is tender and fall apart and good. When the beef is done all the way through, you can start eating it, but you want to leave it on the stove long enough for the beef to get really, really, really tender. And depending on the cut of beef you use, depending on, you know, your altitude and what kind of pan you cook it in, that can take slightly longer or slightly shorter times. But unfortunately, I don't generally take much note of that. I just keep checking on the food until it's finished. If you put it on low heat, you can probably let it go for a good long time if you're just kind of wanting to set it and forget about it. But since I'm kind of trying to get everything done and move along, I've got it at a little higher than it normally would. And I'm trying not to do it too fast, because if you do it too fast, instead of getting tender, it'll kind of get to be like shoe leather. So don't cook it too fast. Yes, yes, yes. The brick soaks up all the rain and spits it out into the attic. I have a penchant for figurative language, and sometimes the result's a little bit more odd than I'd like. Alrighty. And unfortunately, I realize that this has temporarily turned from a cooking stream to a I'm cleaning up my kitchen stream, but you know, I find that if you clean while you cook, it's so much more convenient because you're stuck in the kitchen keeping an eye on this stuff anyway. So when you do it like this, you don't have anything to do once the meal no longer requires your supervision. But that said, let's scrape this little pan off and get it into the dishwasher. I am also about out of dish pods, unfortunately. Alrighty-ree. So what are you guys going to do for the afternoon? I know I asked that already, and I'm sure that half of you probably answered it, but any big plans for the weekend, or are you guys just enjoying yourselves? Anything new going on? Actually, I think get these wrapped up real quick, because I have a couple of mushrooms left over. I should have just put them all in, and you know what? I think I will. Saves me the trouble of wrapping them up. There we go. Other than fighting with yourself to decide if you want to try FF8 hard mode or the Super Mario. You know, I love FF8. I absolutely love FF8. I haven't played it in years. And when it came out, you know, everyone came from Final Fantasy VII. And they all bitched and griped and moaned about it. Oh, we wanted this. And so, you know, again, it was, people were griping not because it was bad, but because they expected something different, and it wasn't that. So, FF8 was really underrated when it came out, and I enjoyed it immensely. The story was good. The gameplay was fun. It was cool. I liked Final Fantasy VIII a lot. And so, that brings us to this segment where we wash the counter. Give me a sec. Just working on projects. What kind of projects, Kimmy? Art projects? Have you got a lot of commissions and things going on this week? That smells good. Also want to turn it down so none of the veg bakes to the bottom of the pan here. It needs salt. It absolutely needs salt and pepper. There we go. All right. Final Fantasy VIII was your first Final Fantasy game. That's cool. 6 was your first completed. Ah, I see. Yeah, it's always good to flesh out your portfolio because, like, I do that from time to time on the voice site because it's always good to update your stuff and have new things, especially when your capabilities increase, to illustrate to people, you know, what you're capable of. So it's always a good idea to go back and refresh that so that, you know, you can showcase your skills not just as they have been, but as they have become. And that's always a nice thing to do. Especially, you know, in talent-based and skill-based endeavors like art or voice or music or design or anything like that. It's always good to kind of keep a current sample and portfolio and demo and whatever your particular line of work calls your portfolio. Now that said, clean as a whistle. There's something to be said for having a nice, clean kitchen space. Of course, mine's still cluttered at the moment, but, you know, we don't want it dirty. There's a difference. This is the last item out of a gift bag that my family got me. My dad and his wife and my baby brother got me a food bag, and this is the last thing from it. I've eaten everything else, and this mustard is really, really good. And I've been using it, but yeah, I enjoyed it completely. Had to mute a streamer you were watching the last few days. Yeah, you know, I have seen that, and you know, as a voice actor, I don't want to say about anyone, even amateurs, like they're a bad voice actor. But, you know, because it's not right to dump on someone when they're just learning, or when they're just trying, or when they're just doing something for fun, or when they're just getting their feet under them. And it doesn't mean that they're a bad voice actor. It means they've delivered a bad performance sometimes, or that they just don't have the skill set yet, or the practice, or the ear for it yet. And that doesn't mean that they can't become one, but I'm always really careful about telling people that they did a bad job voice acting, because, you know, I've heard some really bad professional voice acting. But it's not bad, it's just mediocre, you know? It's like, oh no, they have captured the princess. And I mean, you know, within the context of whatever game you're doing, if all the voiceover is like that, and it's set out like a children's story, then, you know, that's fine. But it's within the context of the world that it's in. But yeah, I know what you mean, and it's one of those things, I will hear some of that, and it's like, I hate to say that, you know, you need to work on it, but some people need to work on it. And the flip side of that coin is, as a professional voice actor, sometimes I worry because, you know, I'll tell people, nice job, oh, you did fine, and I mean, they did, but they didn't, and I hate to be critical because, you know, I know that they're hobbyists and they're doing it for fun, and things like that, and that they will learn if they go on to pursue it. But on the other hand, you know, if someone's pursuing it professionally, I kind of feel bad about just saying, hey, great job, because, you know, if they're trying to be professional, they need the feedback that it's not good. So you gotta look at where they're coming from. But yeah, I've heard some really interesting voiceovers that I too have muted. So yeah, exactly. You know, you just watch with the tab muted, and if they're just having fun, great. You know, but if they're like, I'm gonna be a professional voice actor. Hi, everybody. My name is the hero. No, please don't. We need to teach you acting and emoting and voice control and please back off of your mic, because Peter Piper picked a peck of pickle pep. No, you can't. It's like plosives, pops, stop that. Back away from the mic. Back away. Sorry. I should not have done that. So real quick, let's but yeah, you know, I mean, I appreciate everyone's enthusiasm, and I know that a lot of people, I mean, no one's exempt from giving a bad performance. Every professional voice actor has started somewhere, and they've given some really bad amateur performances. I know I have. I know that every professional I've worked with has. And, you know, it's part of learning, and it's part of getting into the groove. But, you know, sometimes it's hard to listen to. You can always spot the amateurs, too. Because, like, if there's supposed to be, like, a fantasy setting, and it's supposed to be rather posh and regal, and the line is something like, "I don't think that's a good idea, princess," the amateurs will always go like, "I don't think that's a good idea, princess." Whereas, people who are more used to it will be like, "I don't think that's a good idea, princess." I mean, it's more relaxed and it's more natural sounding. Actually, my second one wasn't exactly that great, but you get the idea. But at times, people starting out tend to go a little bit overboard with the exaggerated emotiveness of their delivery. Which, again, in the right setting is absolutely fine. But, exactly. And when it detracts from the enjoyment, it's not good. And here's the funny thing. I have heard people who are not voice actors, who are absolutely not voice actors, but they have read all of the dialogue and voice acted it just being stupid, and it was magnificent. It was good, and it was well delivered, and it was funny, and it was entertaining. And the best part is when they go off script. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, my God, Tomo, can you imagine if when you were playing Final Fantasy 3 or 6 or whatever you want to call it, if we had been in the same room with some microphones and had about 3 or 4 of us in there, my God, what we could have done with that. You remember how we had Edward and the tentacles and all that? Oh, that could have been classic. But, and that's the best thing. When people are having fun with it, that sometimes works out a lot better than people who are trying to do something scripted. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? All right, let's check this real quick. Ooh, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. I present to you my lunch for the next few days. I already put the flour away, and it probably doesn't really need any more. It's just hot, and it'll cook down. Let's see what the flavor's like. Oh my! That's what I wanted. Now, what we could do with this is we could make a nice mashed potato for it to cover. And so I think I might do that just because we got some time. And so we're just going to wash this potato and stick it in a pot and boil it till it's done. Now, I will point out that there are 2 kinds of people in this world. There are the kind of people who take the peel off the potato. And then there are the kind of people who are right. I love the peels on the potatoes. "30 seconds in, nope. Yeah. Well, don't tell me who it is or don't announce it in stream, just 'cause I don't, if something like that's not good, I don't like for anyone to be called out on something like that, especially if they're having fun or enjoying themselves. Ha 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 ha! Kimika doesn't like potato peels. You don't like potato peels? What is wrong with you? You feel personally attacked? That's because you are personally attacked. You leave the peels on the potatoes where they belong. Oh, I love all of you guys. Okay, potato. This one has a couple little bad spots on it, so we'll carve them off real fast. Be done with it. Well, cool. I'd appreciate that. I always like streamers that I might like. That's a good looking potato on the inside. I'm using this little paring knife not because I think it's a good idea for cutting up a potato, but this one has a few little bad spots on it, and it makes it real easy to kind of nip them out of there. You know, the funny thing is I am left-handed, but because I worked in close quarters in a kitchen with people, and we all, there we go, got that out of there, and we all were kind of packed in close, I kind of had to learn to use a knife right-handed, and to this day, I still do, which is weird, but, you know, what you gonna do? That's just how I wound up. Besides, going to Catholic school, I wound up doing a lot of things right-handed that I otherwise wouldn't.
Don't be writing with your left hand, you little demon.
There we go. Let me check on you guys in just a second.
Make sure you're not sacrificing any goats in my chat room.
Aw. No, you're perfectly human, Kimmy. I'm probably the reasonable facsimile. You gotta bear in mind, I like black licorice, black pudding, haggis, and all kinds of interesting things, and I drink my coffee with goat milk in it. So, you know, out of the two of us with normal tastes, you're probably more in line with the populace at large than I am. That being said, potato peels are awesome, and you should enjoy them at every opportunity you get. Let's take the eyes off of there, though. Didn't say nothing about potato eyes. All right, looky there. Potatoes. Water. We'll boil these. We'll add a little butter to these. And some seasoning when they're done. You never salt potatoes before you cook them because they absorb salt and you can't taste it. So you're like eating them and you're like, these are awfully bland. And, you know, next thing you know, your eyeballs are shrinking and drying up because there's so much salt in them, you just can't taste it over the potato. So, that being said, you don't salt potatoes or the potato water when you're cooking potatoes. You wait until after to season them. Yummy! I wish you guys could come right on over and eat some of this. It's going to be fantastic. Let me turn that down a little lower. Oh man, y'all, that is good! Yes, Tomo is right. Kimmy, we love you, but you're wrong. Oh, shoot. Poker face. All right. So, I am just now realizing that I might need to run out again. Oh, no, no, no. I have one dishwasher pod left. All right. Economy for the win. So now, we just do this. And that's it. So all I gotta do is wait for my potato to cook. Puts down the knife for the goat. The gods demand a goat. The gods don't demand a goat. The gods demand some goat milk. So let's have some delicious, nutritious, tasty udder secretions. I kind of grossed myself out with that, but we're still going to drink some. It is so beautiful and clear. Ah, tasty. So no sacrificing goats in my chat. There we go. Gross. You don't like goat milk or just milk in general? It's good. What's wrong with y'all? It's so creamy and buttery. Speaking of good, I know y'all would like this. I wish you could smell it. It's wonderful. Man, that's good. You like regular milk and chocolate milk? What do you mean regular milk? What do you think I got it from, an irregular goat? No, I know what you mean. You mean cow's milk. Which I've got some of that too. I like all things dairy. I keep saying y'all. Yes, I do. It is a contraction of you and all, used in the American South and Midwest. What is laying out in the yard? Huh. I'm trying to figure out if the wind has blown my watering can over into the neighbor's yard, or if that is in fact the neighbor's watering can. And I cannot tell. So I'll have to go out and check later. I swear, it's great to have you two in the chat. You always keep things fun and entertaining. Why is this not boiling yet? Come on. Shoot. There we go. Well, guys, this is kind of winding down to a dull roar. If you guys want to stick around and chat, well, you can do that. But what's going to end up happening is I'm just going to turn this off eventually. It's going to look exactly like it does, except the meat will be slightly more tender. And then I'm going to make some mashed potatoes, and by mashing these and putting them in a bed on the plate and then ladling the stew over it. So if you guys want to hang out and chat a bit, we can. Otherwise, I will probably wrap this up in a minute or five and throw it over to someone else who is currently streaming, which looks like nobody. That's true, Tomo. You do like to tease everyone, which is why we love you. Yes, Kimmy, you are entertaining. Man, that smells so good. I can't wait. I also have a lot more cooking ideas for you guys, so we're going to be doing a lot of recipes coming up here soon. I don't know what that is. Here we go. All right. Well, that said, do you guys know anyone who's currently streaming that we can throw this over to when we wrap it up? Because unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of people I know who are currently streaming, unless I, How long will that stew last me? Let's see. If I eat it over potatoes... Oh, about 4 days. Yeah, about 4 days. I'll eat it tonight for dinner. I'll eat it tomorrow for lunch and dinner, and I'll probably intersperse it because I've got some flatbread and stuff over there, and I've got some turkey, some field greens, and some cheese and dressing and Caesar dressing and all that. So I'll make some turkey and lettuce wraps and things like that, and that'll be 2 of the lunches. So yeah, between the Caesar wraps and the mashed potatoes and the stew, and I might make some rice or something to put the stew over within a couple days, just to kind of polish it off and stretch it a little further. It should last me easily into Wednesday or so, maybe Thursday. Especially, if I'm out and running around and seeing clients and I get lunch someplace because I'm hungry. So yeah, that'll last a good long time. That's 2 pounds of beef plus the vegetables and things like that. That's 5 or 6 meals easy. No, I don't care if they're large streamers or small streamers, as long as they're entertaining. Lexi Kitty, I will. Lexi Kitty sounds good. We'll do that then. But yeah, I mean, I know there's kind of a push. Some people are like, oh, I won't host large streamers because they don't need the help, or blah blah blah. Or there's people that are like, well, I want to refer my friends and yada yada. But the cool thing is, it's always nice to throw a host over to someone. And if I have a friend, I always will throw it over to them, of course. But I have no problem dumping my stream off somewhere entertaining. It doesn't matter if they're big or small, or what sort of streamer they are. As long as they're a nice person and a decent person, and they're fun and entertaining to watch, I am cool with it. And of course, obviously, no racism, no sexism, no homophobia, none of that crap. But that said, yeah, oh my God, that's good, y'all. You need to make this, like, right now. Like, go out and purchase. And like I said, I used Merlot because they sell Burgundy, but it's in this great big jug, and I do not need that much. So, but a Merlot is a very similar red wine to a Burgundy. And so, it's a beef and carrots, onions, mushrooms, a little bit of flour. You can do it, like I said, with bacon. You take about 6 ounces of bacon and you chop it real fine. And you use the bacon grease along with the olive oil to sear the vegetables. And that's always really good too. We did not do that this time, but I don't think it needs it. It tastes wonderful without it. Of course, that would add a new dimension to the flavor. So that's something to think about. Woo! Awesome! That's cool! OSRS streamers, speedrunning channels. Speedrunning is fun too. That is cool, Kimmy. Yeah, I have a lot of friends in the LGBTQ community, and some of whom are like family to me. So I not only do I enjoy supporting streamers and other people in that community, but I have absolutely no patience for homophobia or racism or sexism or anything like that. But yeah, it's always good to know that the people that are streaming are good people. And that's not to say that because you are a member of the LGBT community that you're good people. You get bad people in every walk of life. You sometimes someone's just an asshole. But that being said, I don't condone treating someone badly just because of who they are. I've seen enough of that in my life, and I at my age, I have no patience for it. Ah, that potato is starting to smell really, really good. Now, a good way to test potatoes, y'all, is to get a fork and just to stab them. And if it's nice and soft, it's done. If it's crunchy, like it still is, then it's not done. Simple as that. Yes, Whoopi, exactly. But, yeah, you know, you don't... That's kind of funny because you don't need any special qualifications for that. Sometimes it just works out. The beef in this is not as tender as I would like yet, so I'm probably just going to let that simmer for another hour or two. Which means I need to turn it down way low. And I'm probably going to add just a little bit more water to it so that it doesn't dry out. Because if I'm going to let it simmer that long, it needs to have a little moisture added to it. Maybe a little more, actually. But yeah, Tomo, I'll let you know how long this lasts me when I find out what the final verdict is. But ooh, boy, it's good. There we go. Now the important thing to remember is that water will cook off. So I'm adding it to it, but it will come back out again. So we're not really diluting it. God, that's good. We're not really diluting it because you add the water and then it goes back out. But it has the chance to, you know, let the beef simmer a lot more and get tender without drying out. I think I'll keep you guys around until this potato finishes cooking because I've got to keep an eyeball on it anyway. So. Oh, me. Lord, that's going to be around forever. There we go. I actually keep any empty wine bottles that I finish cooking with because I've got a buddy who makes his own wine and gives me a bottle every now and then, which is wonderful. But I didn't have any today, or I would have used it instead of going and getting some, because his stuff is just wonderful. He does a really good Amarone. So Bob Amrine, if you're watching, thank you. Your wine is delicious. He's not watching. But on the off chance, I gotta say thank you and give shout outs. Oh, that is so good. Well, I fear that me standing here and babysitting this potato cannot be entertaining for you guys. Oh, but it's softening up nicely, and it's going to be real good here shortly. Let's just give it a little stir. Actually, you know, talking of more water, that potato could use some too. The trick is I don't want to stop it cooking, so I'm going to drizzle it in real slow. There we go. Oh, me. There we go, a potato. And Kimmy, let me show you something. Kimmy, you see those brown bits? The peel? Those are supposed to be there. I'm sorry, I'm just teasing you. I want something to drink.
found this the other day. It's really good. Peach hibiscus tea. Ah, see that that face you made. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. All right.
Well, this potato will eventually cook, and then I can let you poor guys go and watch this better, younger, prettier, more entertaining streamer than me. And later today or tomorrow, I might run some Super Mario World stuff. I got my hands on a lot of really cool hacks, and I'm just kind of fiddling around with them, seeing which ones are stream worthy and which are not. I played a troll level last night, and it was a lot of fun. And on one hand, I wish I'd waited today to play it because I was so tired that I wasn't as patient with it as I probably would have been today. But on the other hand, I got raided by Mary Molly. Shout outs to Mary Molly, by the way, who was swinging by, and I met some really cool people from her stream, and I wouldn't have met them otherwise. So I'm really happy that I streamed it last night. I shush. What did I say? Oh, the thing about the more entertaining streamers? Well, it's probably true. But I don't care. I'm enjoying being here. And that's what counts. Easy, breezy, beautiful, cover boy. No. Sorry. Do not let your hair loose in a kitchen. I mean, I know sometimes I do on stream, but it's because I'm cooking for myself, not for others. Yes, exactly. Ooh, those are softening up nicely. Those will be ready any minute. Uh-oh. Gotta stir that. Yummy. That is so good. Ooh, and that beef is starting to get tender. All right. Ha-ha. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got some deliciousness going on here. That potato's almost done. Now let me show you what we got to go with it. A potato masher! Woo! Sit it on! Hey, how's it going, man? Welcome to the stream! Yeah, man, I'm sorry. Yeah, we've got beef Burgundy. It's already ready already. And it's wonderful. And then we've got mashed potatoes going so that we can do a bed of mashed potatoes to put it on. How are you? How was your stream? Were you streaming? Or are you going to stream? Because I can throw the stream over to you when I'm done here in a minute. And how you doing today? Are you enjoying your weekend? We're not crushing that yet. We need to drain the water off of it. If you stick your fork through the larger pieces of potato and you still feel kind of a little crunchiness to it, that means it's not quite done yet. You know, it's that like snicky root vegetable flavor. You want it to be soft and tender all the way through. Otherwise, that will translate into the potato when you start to mash it. And you know, as you eat your mashed potatoes, they'll have that sort of crunchiness to them, and I don't like that. Oh, that's what I'm looking for. my sieve, my strainer, colander, whatever you guys call it from wherever you are. Doing all right. Being a laze on your day off. Well, that sounds cool. Well, if you're going to be streaming later, I'll definitely stop by, and I'll try and remember to drop a host for you, too. Cool. So, your day off, huh? Congratulations. I like a day off. I could use several. I say that, but I couldn't use several, because between trying to fix the chimney and pay my taxes and get a few other things, the last thing I really need right now is a day off from a financial perspective. But, you know, for mental health perspective, I could use about a month. Oh, me. That said, this is going to be some good food. All right, that looks about right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have potato. So let me show you what we do with this. We're going to drain all the water off of that. Hooray! Let's see what we got here. I can't read that from here. Give me a half a moment to deal with these potatoes. Okay. Now, I've got the potatoes in the pan here, but we're not going to mash them just by themselves. No, 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 no. We want to flavor these bad boys. So, butter. Always butter in the potatoes, because butter. And about a half a tablespoon, or, you know, a little brick of it would be good. And we can put that away. And now we want to season these little bad boys. And I think a nice mixture of, I was supposed to put bay leaf in the beef bourguignon, and I didn't. I think a little bit of celery salt, a little bit of black pepper, and a little bit of onion should do the trick. Let's see. You know, I tend to go stir crazy when I have a day off. It's like if I'm not doing at least 2 things at once, I'm not happy. You know, and have you guys ever noticed that sometimes when I'm in your streams, like sometimes my typing is impeccable and there's like a big wall of text, and other times it's like my typing suffers real bad? Yeah, when that's the case, I'm typing one-handed and the other hand is operating another laptop. Okay, we've got black pepper, we've got celery salt, which is always good. And we have a little bit of onion powder. So now we have seasoned potatoes, and all we have to do is mash them with our potato masher. I mean, I guess I could show you guys that. Well, no, I couldn't, because this is a hot pan and I can't get it over there. You guys get the idea. You know what mashing potatoes looks like. You guys weren't born under a rock. Although it looks really pretty when you do. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. Now, these are a little bit dry, because I got all the water off of them. And what I do like to do is just a little dollop of milk. Not a lot, just like to keep the potato from being dry. Because again, dairy. And it makes them creamy and smooth. Yeah, look at that. See the consistency? It's so much creamier and smoother. And, oh man, that's nice. And that is going to be wonderful. So those are good. Nah, I like the occasional little bit of time off, although I have to have a plan for my day off, or I will sit there in front of the computer just putzing around doing nothing and going insane. I will like be staring at the computer and I'll chat with someone on Discord or on Skype for a minute, and then I'll be like, I don't want to be here, I want to be out doing something, it's my day off. And then I'll kind of roam around all day trying to find something to get into, not ever get into anything, and then at the end of the day it's like, well, shoot, the day's over. Oh my God, that's good. Your mom ever give you the beaters to lick when you were a kid? Well, I say mom, you know, your dad might have been the cook. I know I am. But you get the idea. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you this. I mean, the pan's a little bit messy, but look at that. Look at those beautiful mashed potatoes right there. I gotta have a bite. Oh, those are perfect. Okay. Onion powder, celery salt, black pepper, butter, and a little dollop of milk on your potato. That is it. And the potato skin, sorry Kimmy, I know you don't like them, the potato skin just tastes so good in there and gives it a little bit of texture. Like the milk makes it real creamy, but the texture from the skin makes it entertaining as well. It doesn't just taste like mush. Exactly, Tomo. Anything less than 3 things at once and I start to go a little crazy. You know, Whoopi, that's always fun. I do like going and doing photography in places, and I did that a while back, but it's been so cold lately. I don't like to get out in the cold because I hate the cold. I am just dying for the weather to get good and hot so that I can roam around all over the place again. My happy place is about 85 to 105 Fahrenheit, and if you guys aren't from the United States, that's about 30 to 40 Celsius. And I realize that I'm miscalibrated, but if you go much below 70 Fahrenheit, I'm freaking done. It's too cold. I get tired and irritable, and I don't want to be out in it. And it's like, you know what? I'm going home where it's warm. Mush is your favorite taste? Ooh, actually, speaking of mush, how many of you guys were raised in the Midwest and you ate mush for breakfast? You know, corn mush, or there's another word for it, but we always just called it mush. I didn't eat it a lot growing up, but it's good. All right, nice clean kitchen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have got beef Burgundy. Yummy. Oh my God, that's wonderful. We've got mashed potatoes to put it over. And I need to wrap those up so that they stay moist and flavorful. And that concludes our, you know what? Let's do this real quick. Just for the sake of the stream. Because we gotta. We're doing a small presentation here. La la la. Let's just plate some of this up, shall we? Oh, yes, please, and thank you. Let me get it over here where you guys can see it. What do you think of that? Beef Burgundy over mashed potatoes. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you my dinner for the next few days. But the only thing, what could possibly be wrong with that deliciousness? Well, yeah, I'm just plating it up so that you guys can see it. I'm not eating it right now. Well, I'm eating this right now, but I'm saving the rest for my dinner because I already ate lunch. So, oh man, that's good. Yeah, no, if I ate like this, it would last 4 weeks. Oh man, that's good. Oh, and the carrots are nice and sweet. Yeah, this was a real good idea. Oh, hot, hot. Give me a second. Exactly. I do need to let the beef go a little longer. Because I do want it tender. But that's exactly right. It was just a little taste so that you guys could see what it was going to look like as a finished product. That said, ladies and gentlemen, we have beef Burgundy. And thank you guys so much. Everyone, go follow Synodon Games. Go follow Kimmy. Go follow Tomo. Go follow Whoopi. Go follow everybody in the stream because everyone here is just so awesome. And I appreciate each and every single one of you. And I love having you here in my kitchen with me every day. Thanks again, guys. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to get out here and start cleaning my house. And I'll see you guys next time. Kimmy, who was it that we were going to host in a minute? Eat that. Oh, that hero thing? Yes. Oh my god, dude. That was, like, by the time that I walked from here back to my studio office, it was freaking gone, man. I mean, it was bad, man. It was like, you ever seen them when they throw, like, little bits of meat to, like, wolves, and it's like, and it's just gone? That's about how that went. The Lexi Kitty. Alrighty. Take care, Santa. Take care, everybody. I'm going to throw the host over to the Lexi Kitty, and I'm going to go clean my house. Take care. Bye.
And we'll turn off the stream.